Alright, so you just finished setting up your iPhone XS or XS Max, and now you're probably wondering, what the hell do I do now? Well, here's a couple of tips and suggestions, a starter's guide to the iPhone XS, a few things I would suggest to do right after you initially set up your device. So first up, if this is your first iPhone without a home button, you may want to familiarize yourself with the new gesture controls. It's just like the iPhone X. Control centers from the top right there. Multitasking is swiping up from the bottom and holding to get between apps. Furthermore, when you're in an app, you can swipe over right from the bottom, potentially. Easier with the thumb, just to go between apps like that. Again, notification center is swiping down from the top left right there. One thing that I don't think a lot of people know is how to restart your device. Well, if you press the volume up, then the volume down, and then hold the side button right there, you can then power off your device. Again, you can just keep holding to force restart your device. Now, very lastly, one major change in iOS 12 with the iPhone X and XS and XS Max is when you're in the multitasking pane, now you no longer have to hold to edit. You can just initially start swiping up to close all your apps. Moving on, the second thing I would suggest to do is to sign into iCloud. Pretty much all your important data is now going to be kept in the cloud, so it's almost easier to do this than to actually restore your device. Again, all your photos, your mail, your contacts, your calendar events, and even your previous message threads are now saved within iCloud. Again, Safari bookmarks, a bunch of other stuff. Find My iPhone is enabled, and even backups will start beginning. Again, along the same lines, another great thing to do is to set up a passcode and Face ID. So again, you can just click Set up Face ID right there. Within the Settings app, you can click Get Started. And I'll go ahead and do this real fast on screen. It's really easy. Just start moving your head around until it completes. And it's actually going to have you do 2 scans. So here we go with the second one. And again, just kind of rotating your head around. Second scan is complete. And that's how easy it is to set up Face ID. And you can use this to unlock your device, pay for things in Apple Pay and the iTunes Store, as well as the App Store, and autofill passwords. Now your device is secure, you have Find My iPhone on, all your settings should transfer over from your old device to your new one with your iCloud information. The next things are just a couple little quality of life. I like to turn auto lock. Oh, there we go, auto lock right there. I personally turn it to off because I always lock my device, and I just really don't like when it dims my display or just shuts off in the background. Another great thing right below this in the same setting is turning on True Tone. You can do that as well by force touching on the brightness slider within the control center. You can turn True Tone display on to get a more natural lighting experience on the iPhone. Your iPhone's white color balance will better match your background and surrounding environment. I also turn auto brightness off. Now this can be nice for some people because your brightness will automatically change. If you go to somewhere bright, it will brighten up. If you go to somewhere dark, it will dim down. But I personally really don't like that. I turn that guy off right there. So those are just a couple display settings that I change right off the bat. Alright, so getting into customizing the device a little bit, one of the first things I like to do is go into the Control Center tab within the Settings app and customize the Control Center controls. I usually like to add screen recording as well as low power mode. Those are the main two, I guess, that I use. Some people like to have the Apple TV remote, but again, then they just appear right below all the default toggles. Along with the Control Center, just kind of organizing your home screen a little bit, organizing your apps. Personally, all this pre-installed stuff from Apple, I usually just throw in one folder. Honestly, just like the utilities folder, just because I never use half these apps that it comes with. So I just like getting all this clutter off of my home screen, I guess. There we go, a little bit cleaner home screen. Now we can begin to install apps. Again, once you have your iCloud account signed in, it should also sign you in for the App Store, and you can go ahead and click that button right there and go to Purchased, My Purchases, and then install all of the apps that you want. Now, a great one that I would suggest to install right off the bat is the new Shortcuts app for iOS 12. But that would be one of the first apps I would suggest to try out is this Shortcuts app. Again, once you download it and go into it, you basically can create custom Siri commands. Oh, look at that. It even transferred over my previous ones that I already had saved. But basically, you can create custom Siri commands to do different things. For example, when I go to record videos, I like to have my brightness on a certain percentage, I like to have Do Not Disturb turned on, and I like to turn the volume off. So I just created this quick shortcut to do all of those things right there, and I can just click record, turns the volume off, sets my brightness to the correct level basically. And even within this, I can actually just ask Siri to do this. It looks like I have to set that up again, but I can go add to Siri and I can be like, set my iPhone to record mode. So now I can just ask Siri that command, tell her that command, I guess, and it will set it up. But basically, if you head to the gallery, there's a bunch of default and pre-made things by Apple for you to do. These were just some of my favorites right here. You can go, where was this photo taken? You can get directions home. You can set a quick laundry timer, and you can speed dial a phone number. And this is just incredible because you can do multiple things here. One, you can toggle this directly within the Shortcuts app. You can ask Siri to do it, or you can actually add it to your home screen. And so if I click that right there, click add to home screen once more, and now that speed dial for that certain number is right there on my home screen. Awesome things you can do with the new Shortcuts app. Very quickly, before we get into the couple other things, I really like to set my background as something different than the one that it came with. And you'll actually notice now within iOS 12, on the iPhone XS and XS Max, there's 3 new live wallpapers. Again, that's the one that comes default with the space gray color option. That's the one that comes default with the gold version, and then this one right here is the one that comes default with the silver color wave. Anyway, you can choose between 3 of those, or you can go find a different wallpaper and set it to your liking. So I did a video directly on this next feature. I'm going to be talking about Memojis again. I would highly suggest to check out Memojis and set them up for the first time. So if you go into the Settings app, go into a message thread and click on an emoji right here. Once this loads, you'll get the splash screen if this is the first time you seeing it. You have all the default emojis right here, or you can click this plus button right here to create your own Memoji. So I would highly suggest to do this. Unfortunately, it doesn't take a photo of yourself. You have to set it up manually from scratch, but once you do, it's a lot of fun to use this, sending it to friends. You can take live photos with it. You can even use this in FaceTime. So again, that is one thing that I'd highly suggest to check out. It's a new feature in iOS 12, and on the iPhone XS Max, it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, now let's get into one of the major new features of the iPhone XS and XS Max specifically. So if you go into the camera app and go into the portrait setting right here, I would highly suggest to take a photo with this and play with some of the new bokeh settings. So I actually went out and took a couple photos. Nothing too special. Here, let me actually hold the phone. So here's an example photo that I have for you right here. Now, nothing looks too new, although this display is massive and that looks great. But now if you go up to edit right here and give it a second, you can actually control the f-stop or the amount of bokeh, aka the amount of blur that is in the background. So right now we're at f2.2. You can go all the way up to 1.4. Now, as you guys can see, that's super blurry in the background. Or if we go in the opposite direction, you can go all the way to f16, and now it's super clear in the background. So that's just some of the new portrait settings. Again, portrait mode just looks absolutely incredible. On this photo, the default was actually 4.5, but you can really bump that up to focus more on your subjects that are up close, or the exact opposite, have an entirely clear photo. These photos just look absolutely incredible, and that was just something super simple right outside my house. Anyway, if you have the time, I'd highly suggest to go out and take some new photos in portrait mode. That was just a quick example of some of the things that can be done. So just a few more tips in this video, and I'll let you guys go. One of the very last things that I wanted to talk about was protecting your device. Definitely get a case, any case really at all. I'm just using the white silicone case from Apple, which has the microfiber filament right here to protect from scratches with this stainless steel. Probably not the most protective case. It's rubber, it's grippy, you can hold on to it, but also there's better options, I guess, like OtterBox or something that is even going to be more durable, but also bigger. So definitely get a case. Definitely get a screen protector. I really don't have any sort of brand I recommend with screen protectors. Honestly, I just get something super cheap on Amazon. And then very lastly, talking about Apple warranties, I would definitely get some sort of warranty, if not from Apple, from your carrier. So I actually just looked it up post recording this video, and it is even more ridiculous than last year. It's $599 for an entire phone replacement out of warranty, and if you break the screen, it's a $329 repair bill. In any case, definitely protect your devices, guys. Get a case, get a screen protector, and get some type of warranty if you know that you're more prone to break your devices. Now, the very last thing that I would suggest, there's only one really thing to do with this huge, massive display and better graphics capabilities, and that's to launch a game of Fortnite. Alright, so here it is, guys. Really, this phone doesn't feel that much different right up until you put it in landscape mode and you open up a game on it. I mean, this screen is just freaking massive. I mean, the notch especially feels a lot less intrusive. But let's get into it. Let's see exactly how Fortnite runs on the iPhone XS Max. But yeah, wow, these graphics look great. Going into something. This is like my third time playing Fortnite. But yeah, overall, I mean, the frame rate is just freaking fantastic. Like, it'd be very interesting. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start a screen recording, and I'll show you guys exactly what the output from this game looks like. I mean, this just looks fantastic so far. I know a lot of people out there were probably curious at how Fortnite runs, and it runs just great. I mean, that is kind of to be expected with a brand new 2018 iPhone, but overall, the frame rate looks great, guys. And honestly, this notch it's a lot less intrusive than it was on the iPhone X for sure. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this quick video on some of the first things to do on the iPhone XS Max. Just a few tips and suggestions that I had for you guys, and some of the new things to check out in iOS 12, as well as the new features specifically for the iPhone XS and XS Max. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, let me know down in the comments section, and of course, like, comment, and subscribe as well. Again, check the link down below. It's the very first link in the description for more information and minute-by-minute updates on some of the videos and what we're up to today. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching again, but until next time, this is Tony, signing out.